Hello and welcome back to the Groove Junction. You're back again. It's great to have you on board. My name's DJ Matty F. And before we get started, do me a favour, and I say it every week, go and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, drop me a comment, and let me know what you think of the podcast. It helps the show grow, and it means I can keep bringing you the same formatted episodes every single week. As always, I want to thank our good friends at Wolf Mix for supporting the podcast as they have always done and helping us push the culture of the DJ community forward. Now, today's episode is about something deeper than gigs, deeper than crowds, deeper than lights and the noise. It's about the part of DJing that nobody sees, nobody celebrates it, and nobody prepares you for it. It's about the version of you that exists when the lights are off, the room is empty, and the only person left in the space is you. It's about the DJ you become when nobody's watching. Let's get into it. There's a strange truth about DJing that nobody tells you when you start. You think the craft is built in front of people. You think it's built in the moments where the dance floor erupts, where the drop lands perfectly, where the bride and groom look at each other during their first dance and the whole room shifts. You think the magic is the performance. But the real growth, the real evolution, the real transformation happens in the silence. It happens in the hours nobody sees. It happens in the choices nobody knows you're making. It happens in the private moments when you're questioning yourself, your sound, your direction, even your identity. It happens in the car on the way home from a gig that didn't go the way you wanted it to. You're driving through empty streets, the roads humming underneath you, and your mind is louder than the engine. You might be even listening to this podcast. You replay the night in your head. Not the good bits, but the moments where you felt the room slip away. Even if no one else noticed it, you as that professional do. You think about the track you chose that didn't land. You think about the moment you hesitated with a particular song. You think about the energy you couldn't quite get back. And you're not angry about it. You're not defeated. You're just analyzing the night. You're learning. You're evolving. And here's the thing, that drive home is one of the most important parts of being a DJ, because that's where you stop being a performer and you start being a craftsman. That's where you stop thinking about what happened and start thinking about why it happened. That's where you start building the next version of yourself. Now, every DJ knows that feeling, that quiet reflection drive home where you're half proud and half frustrated and half inspired and half exhausted. That moment where you start asking the questions that actually matter. Why didn't that transition land? Why did the crowd respond differently to that track than they usually do when I play it 99 other times? Why did the energy dip after the speeches? Why did the room feel different tonight? Why did I feel different tonight? Those questions are the beginning of growth, because DJing isn't just about what you play. It's about how you think, and the thinking doesn't happen on the night. It happens afterwards when nobody is watching. It also happens in the living room at midnight when you're listening to a track for the 10th time, trying to understand why it hits you. You're not thinking about the BPM or the genre or whether it fits the set. You're thinking about the feeling. You're thinking about the story inside the track. You're thinking about whether it belongs in your world, whether it says something about who you are becoming. And that's the part most DJs never talk about. the emotional relationship you build with music when you're alone. The way certain tracks feel like they're speaking directly to you. The way you know instantly whether a track belongs in your set or whether it's just for you. The way you can hear a track, that private listening, that deep listening is where your sound is born from. Not in the club, not at a wedding, not in front of the crowd, in the quiet, in the stillness, in the moments where you're thinking about what people want. You're thinking about what you want. And that's the part nobody prepares you for. The part where your taste evolves faster than your bookings. The part where you start craving something deeper, something more intentional, something more aligned with your becoming. The part where you realize you're not just changing your sets, you're changing your identity. Every DJ reaches a point where the old version of themselves can't take them where they want to go next. And that moment is uncomfortable. It's disorientating. It's emotional. It's actually necessary. Because DJing is not just a job. It's an identity. And identities evolve. There's a version of you that exists on the night. The confident version, the polished version, the version that knows how to read a room. That version is real. That version is the powerful version of you. Now, that version is the one people see. But there's another version, the private version, and that's the one that shapes everything. The private version is the one who sits alone with their thoughts after a gig. The private version is the one who listens to the music differently. The private version is the one who feels the shift before anyone else does. The private version is the one who questions everything, your sound, your direction, your purpose, your future. And that private version is the one that actually really matters. That's the DJ who decides what you won't compromise on. That's the DJ who decides what you're becoming. And here's the part that really matters. The crowd only ever sees the result. They never see the work. They don't see the playlists you delete because they don't feel like you anymore. They don't see the transitions that you practice until they become muscle memory. They don't see the nights you go home frustrated because you know you could have done better. They don't see the moments where you're sat alone thinking, I'm changing. And I don't know what I'm changing into. Those moments, the quiet ones, are where your craft is built. Now, this is the perfect moment for me to shout out our friends at Wolf Mix. I want to give a massive shout out to Wolf Mix, the legends who support this podcast. If you've ever wanted lighting that reacts to your energy, to your crowd, your creativity without needing a laptop or a degree in programming in DMX, Wolf Mix is the one. I use it for all of my shows. It's becoming part of my performance. So big love to Wolf Mix for backing the Groove Junction and backing DJs who want to level up. And here's why I want to go a little bit deeper with this conversation, because this is the part that actually helps DJs. This is the part that gives you something practical, something real, something you can take away and use. Now, when you're alone, when nobody's watching, that's the moment where you can be brutally honest with yourself. That's the moment where you can admit the things you'd never say out loud. That's the moment where you can confront the parts of your craft that need work. That's the moment where you can ask the questions that actually matter. Why do I always open the same way? Why do I avoid certain genres, even though I love them? Why do I panic when the energy dips? Why do I rely on the same transitions? Why do I feel more confident in some rooms than others? Why do I feel like I'm holding back? Why do I feel like I'm ready for more? Those questions are uncomfortable. They're personal, they're vulnerable, but they're the questions that build the next version of you. Because DJing isn't just about playing music. It's about understanding yourself. It's about understanding your habits, your fears, your strengths, your weaknesses. It's about understanding the emotional patterns that shape your decisions on the night. And here's the truth. Most DJs never do that work. Most DJs never look inward. Most DJs never ask themselves why they do what they do. Most DJs never examine their craft at a level required to evolve. But the DJs who do, the DJs who go inward, the DJs do the quiet work, they become something different, something sharper, something more intentional, something more powerful. They become DJs with identity, DJs with purpose, DJs with clarity, DJs with emotional intelligence, DJs who can walk into any room and know exactly who they are. And that's the part I want you to hear right now in this episode. Because if you're listening to this and you're in that phase, that quiet evolution, I want you to know something. It's normal, it's necessary, and it's the sign you are leveling up. Because the DJ you're becoming in private is the one who's going to walk into the next room with a different energy, with a different confidence, with a different clarity, with a different presence. And people will feel it before they understand it. That's the beauty of this craft. You grow quietly, and then one day you realize you've stepped into a new chapter without even noticing the moment has even happened. This is another bite-sized episode of the Groove Junction. Thank you for listening. My name's DJ Matty F. As always, go and hit that like button, go and comment, go and hit the subscribe, do all of that good stuff so it reaches our DJ community that we love, and you're able to share the message of what we're trying to help everyone with. I will see you same time, same place, next week, right here on the Groove Junction. See ya!